Hey everyone and welcome back. Now in today's video we'll be discussing about the basics of the Amazon SQS service. Now before we go ahead and discuss in detail about SQS, let's take a simple use case that will allow us to understand the benefits that SQS offers. Now the use case for today's video is an application that primarily works for restoring an image. So let's assume that a Medium Corp is designing an application that will enhance and restore the images that users submit to the online portal. So there are a lot of applications where you go ahead and give the image and they'll enhance it and make it much more better. So that is what the Medium Corp is building. Now, as part of the application architecture, there are two components that are involved. First one is the image gatherer and second one is the image enhancer. So image gatherer is responsible for taking the image from the user via the upload button. So as soon as a user uploads the image goes to the image gatherer application. And then image gatherer will send that image to image enhancer. And image enhancer is responsible for enhancing as well as doing some conversion on the image. Now this type of architecture sounds good. Now one of the challenges that comes is what happens when this image enhancer server goes down. So the image gatherer is working fine, the user is able to upload the image, but when image gatherer sends the image to the image enhancer, the server is down. So this is one of the challenges that will be faced in a current set of architecture. Now second type of challenge is related to the high availability. So let's assume that due to popularity of the application and huge spike traffic, Medium Corp has decided to add more number of enhancer servers. So now you have two. So now the Medium Corp has added two more enhancer servers. So now in case if one of the server goes down, then the image gatherer will be able to send the traffic to the other servers. So for the image gatherer to discover the latest servers that are running, what needs to be done? A database needs to be created or a configuration file with the relevant information needs to be created. So in this case, you have a configuration file that contains 4 servers. So you have server A, server B, server C, server D, and each server has its associated IP address. And what image gatherer does? It goes ahead and send the images across each one of the IP addresses. Now, although this seems good, but one of the challenge that comes is, let's say that this server A has gone down. Now, image gatherer has no way of knowing that the server is down. So there needs to be a additional logic at the image server that will check the health check of all of the servers. And if the health check is failed, then the configuration file entry associated with that server also needs to be removed. So image gatherer application needs to do more than just the image gathering, and this will introduce a lot of challenges. So in order to overcome this, there is also a better architecture of using a queue. So what happens here is that you design a queue, and what image gatherer will do, all it is responsible to do is to send the image to the queue. And then the image enhancer, all they are responsible to do is they are responsible to take the message from the queue, and that's it. You do not really need to worry about anything else. So at the image gatherer level, you do not really need to get the latest IP addresses of the servers, doing the health check and creating additional logic. Alright, so this is what queue is all about. Now one of the main function of the message queue service is to take a message from a publisher and forward that to a consumer. So in our architecture, the publisher becomes the image gatherer and the consumer becomes the image enhancer. So this is a high level architecture. Now one thing that needs to be ensured here is that since this image gatherer will be sending the images to the queue needs to be always available, because in case if the queue goes down, then none of the images will be able to be taken by the image enhancer. So this is one of the most critical architecture component in this specific use case that we were discussing. And this challenge of having a highly available, reliable queue is taken care by the Amazon SQS service. So at a high level overview, Amazon SQS is a fast, reliable, scalable and fully managed message queuing service, and it basically makes it simple and cost effective to decouple the components of a specific application. So now what you have to do, you already have an image gatherer, you already have an image enhancer. What you do is you create a highly available and reliable queue with the help of SQS service and configure your image gatherer to send a message to the queue and configure the image enhancer to take the message from the queue, and that's about it. So this is the basic architecture. So let's go ahead and try this out so that this becomes better understood. So currently I'm in the Amazon SQS console, and currently we have one queue with the name of message queue, and currently there are 0 messages that are available. Now we also have 2 EC2 instances for today's demo. One has the name of image gatherer, second has the name of image enhancer. So for today's demo, the image gatherer EC2 instance will send certain messages to this SQS queue, and the image enhancer EC2 instance will fetch the message from the SQS queue. So that is the basic architecture, something to what we were seeing. So let's try it out. So currently within my SSH terminal, I have 2 tabs that are created. First tab is associated with the image gatherer. Second tab is associated with the image enhancer. So within here, let's go ahead and run a script, and the name of a script is sendmessage.sh. So this will go ahead and send messages to the SQS queue. So let me run it. So currently here you see that it has sent 5 messages to the SQS queue. Now within here, if we'll quickly refresh the page, you see the messages that are available are 5. Now from the image enhancer, which is responsible for consuming the message, we also have one more script available called as receive-message.sh. Let's run it. So now at this stage, you see it has received one set of message from the SQS queue. Now if you will run once more, it has received another set of messages from the SQS queue. So for example, let's say that the first one is the image. So it has taken the image, it has completed the work. Now again, it will go ahead and fetch new set of images that are part of the SQS queue, and then it will process the images. Once the processing is done, it will go ahead and fetch the newer images that are part of the SQS queue. So if I'll quickly refresh the page, you see the available messages has now reduced to 2. Now in fact, the messages that are part of the SQS queue, you can also view it from the console. So if I'll quickly do a poll messages here, you should see that there are multiple messages that are available, and this is basically the message body. Now that we understand the basics of SQS queue, let's go ahead and understand some of the important concepts specifically related to a tightly coupled system and a loosely coupled system. So in a tightly coupled system, the component of a system architecture, they directly communicate with each other and also have a hard dependency on each other. So for example, you have a producer and you have a consumer. So producer is directly sending a message to consumer. So in case if a consumer is down, then the producer essentially will also start to send the error message to the users. So this is also referred as a tightly coupled system. Now the second type of system is referred as a loosely coupled system, in which the components of a system architecture that can process the information without directly being connected. So you have a producer, you have a queue, you have a consumer. So now if the consumer are down, then the producer essentially does not really need to worry. So all producer can do is it can take the image from the user and it can send the image to the queue, and then it can give a success message back to the user. That's about it. Once the set of consumers are back online again, they'll fetch the message from the queue and then they'll do the necessary level of processing. So this is a much more better type of architecture, and in fact most of the architecture that you will see, the new ones in the production environment, are based on the loosely coupled system. This is very important. That's great. So this is a very high level overview about the SQS service, and with this we'll conclude today's video.